All right. I hope you all enjoyed getting some content and getting out there today. At least the sun was out, got outside, and you guys got to see what was going on. I wish you'd have seen a little cleaner football today. I think through this spring I've been very optimistic, very encouraged. As I just told the team, I think when we're segmenting things and going through a detailed practice where we have everything segmented from individual, and coaches usually go over things that's going to happen in practice, individual, and then we go to half line, go to 7-on, go to team run, piece it all together. We've been very good, very clean. I've been very encouraged. When we go out there today, after you guys leave, we put the ball down and move it, and to me it got a little sloppy. And so it's just good learning for these players to understand when we put it all together and coaches are off to the sideline and you go out there and play ball, we got to be very precise and we got to be dialed in. I'm still extremely encouraged. I love this team, but we need to be better. And so good learning opportunity for us today. It really bothers me and it hurts that I'm not able to do more of that. But even next week, you guys are going to see with the spring game, I cannot do it with my typical just go to the ground. We're down 8. I have 8 D linemen that can't participate. So what happens is I put everybody else at risk. If I go full tilt and O linemen are playing against freshmen, we're going to get more injuries. So can't do it. We'll have some format and it'll be open and we'll have practice and thud it and fill some time and everybody can see what we've been doing, which is fine, but it won't be your typical, there's no way I could divide it and have 2 teams. And even going offense against defense to the ground, I just don't have enough bodies. So we'll have some format. You guys will see it, be able to see practice, but it is slowing us down a touch. We'll overcome it. I feel like when we put it all together and we get everybody back, there's going to be some really good pieces. Very encouraged offensively. I think, we need the practice, as I mentioned, repeating myself, but I'm encouraged overall, I really am. And just got to keep on working. We have a lot of time, we need it, and we got to just keep on grinding.
Mark, it sounds like depth is the issue for you right now, but some other coaches have talked about this spring. You don't want to open too much up because of the portal and other teams seeing your players, and you've obviously got a new offense that I'm sure you want to keep some mystery about. How do you balance all of that?
Yeah, that's a good part of it. We talked in detail yesterday about that with y'all coming out today and with next week, about how open we want to get, because it's a double-edged sword. I want the people to see and be encouraged like I am with what we're doing, but you don't want to just completely, open it up. Just bear with us, you know what I mean? And you'll get out there and watch. As we talk to the players, ultimately the game gets down to blocking, tackling, fundamentals. It really does. All that eye candy, all the playmaking ability. We have some guys that can make plays on both sides of the ball. It's a fundamental, it's cliche, but it's true. When technique meets opportunity, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? And that's, it's a technique game for us. It really is. And in the spring, we have to do a lot of big picture things, especially with the new offense. I think defensively, I could get, I know what we'll be. You know what I mean? When we get everybody back. But offensively, we need to see the big picture. We need to see the operation. Looks very good at times, and there's work that needs to be done.
Mark, do you worry about that though? That the third string cornerback intercepts 3 passes in the spring game, and boom, he's in the portal.
Yeah, I think we all worry some about that. And again, we talked at length yesterday about how things are different. I feel really good. I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like this team's in a good place, but players that just, the good teams we've had, the guys that just stayed here and worked and put their head down and gone to work. And that's like that sometimes where guys feel buried on the depth chart because they may feel like they're a 3. Well, there's really good players in them. In a year, they may be a 1. And I tell them the same thing I tell my own son. Don't worry about anybody else. Put your head down, go to work, and get better every day. And I know we all say that. But in today's world, I think that's not always the reality. And we preach it, we talk to them, but it is life. It is the way we're dealing with it sometimes now.
Mark, last year the tight end room was the one that had all the injuries, and now you have all those guys healthy. How they were kind of lining up all over the place. How do they get used, and what are their skill sets kind of benefit being in this offensive bunch?
Yeah, I think definitely we feel very confident in that group, and we feel like there's a lot of playmaking ability in that group, and they'll be utilized, and it'll be different. But we feel like there's very good players there. You've heard me talk about this a lot, but it's very true. If we can get some tempo going, get some first downs going, get some plays going, you're going to see a lot of touches by a lot of different people.
Does the depth there, does that help when you're kind of trying to mix in your wide receivers too to be able to have those guys?
It does, and you'd be surprised. You feel like you're really deep, and then that position takes a beating. They really do. So you need some good depth there.
Mark, that second year group of offensive linemen, Malachi, Kobe, Austin, what kind of growth have you seen from them in year 1 and year 2?
They still need work. We've got to continue to grow. We're encouraged. We feel like there's a lot of ability there. There's good people. They have good attitudes, and they're working hard, and just need to continue to grow. Continue to get better. They're gonna get that. They're gonna get pushed with Coach Wolford, and they're we're leaning on them to get better. We're pushing them.
There's been a lot of good said about Jalen Farmer, and I think I saw him and Jagger both kind of interchanging those guard positions. Do they need to be interchangeable at either right or left? Or
Yeah, they can be, but we'll settle in. Jagger feels good on the right, so that's nice. And Farmer's, he's got a chance of playing really hard and does some good things. So, again, when we put it all together, get everybody healthy, we'll have a good chance. We got to continue to get better at certain positions. We got to continue to get better at depth. Right tackle, we still need consistency there. And again, we'll get there.
When you talked about getting the big picture of the offense kind of on the right track, is a lot of it just reps, or have they mentally picked it up pretty well?
They've picked it up very well at Sydney's. Again, as I just told them. But we can't get misconstrued and think you have it all figured out, because there's so many moving pieces, and we keep on adding more, and we're not even game planning. And so it's got to be just done so efficiently, and we need to bank thousands of reps. And whether it's this offense, last year's offense, any of it, the process, getting lined up, the motions, anything, like it's got to be second nature to us. And then we got to go play at a high level and beat people. And so there's a balance there, again, how much we're feeding them, how much they can handle. As I mentioned, I think it's easier when it's segmented, when they know what's coming and they know what we're working on. We put it all together, it goes fast.
Mark, that situation you described with the D-line, has there been anybody that has seized that opportunity to take advantage of the extra reps?
I think Gerard is one guy that's, it's getting a lot of opportunity. B-Rob's getting some opportunity with guys being down, for young guys. But we'll just continue to work, continue to get them better.
We talked a lot about Hardly Gilmore this spring. What do you like about it? It seems like his work ethic has really stood out for a young guy. How impressive is that for somebody who's even young for his class?
It is. He's a guy that I think everybody has respect for, because he really is one of those guys that just comes in and puts his head down. He's very hungry. He goes to work every day. He has a great attitude about him, and he's one of those guys that's his personality is a little bit infectious, a little bit contagious. People gravitate towards him in a positive way, and kind of look up to him as a young guy that has that kind of work ethic, that kind of mentality, and he just got to continue to do that. That's a lot, but the nice thing is that compared to before, you don't need that true freshman to come in and be the guy, but he could certainly help us and sprinkle it in.
Mark, there was a time in the spring game was the last practice session that you had. It was it at the spring game, but now you have 2 more practice sessions after the spring game. how do you utilize the time? Is more evaluating the spring game?
We're gonna reevaluate it after this week, so I'll make that decision. I have time, the following Tuesday and Thursday. We will, absolutely do something, and, obviously, and, I'll determine that here after this week.
Mark, just as far as Brock, just early on, just continue growth from him, what are you seeing, just kind of taking control of
Again, I think it's, for him, getting that whole group on the same page and getting out there and being able to execute at a high level. I have a lot of confidence in him. I think everybody does. You've seen it. Once again, without beating a dead horse, I mean, we've got to just operate more efficiently, and that takes more than just the quarterback. That's the whole group.
Everybody good?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep.